The meanest thing you've ever said to a man to put him in his place. These comments do not disappoint. Told a guy I was gonna fuck his dad and give him a son he'd actually love. Both our heights start with 5, so let's not start. I work as a labor and delivery nurse, and a dad joked about asking for the husband stitch, and the doctor asked how much smaller he needed them to make it. He said, on a double date, you look better with your glasses, and I immediately said, you look better without my glasses. Incredible clapback. Not me, but my 6-year-old. When my husband got upset I don't make his morning smoothies anymore, she said, it's just fruit and milk, Dad. You do it. Yesterday, I asked a dude if his learning curve was a circle. I expected nothing, and you still disappointed me. I didn't realize our cycle synced up. I'm 5'11". I usually just stand up. He told me he wanted to break up over a bowl of pasta in a restaurant on a date. I said, okay, slurped my pasta, and he got angry, so I ordered a glass of wine and said, cheers to the single life. Are you under the impression I allow everyone in my life to speak to me like this, or are you asking me to make an exception for you? Damn! I heard someone say, don't argue longer than you last. If I'm too much for you, have you considered that you're just not enough for me? Period. Told my ex I'm not in the mood to be disrespected by the man I lowered my standards for. I can keep telling you, but I can't understand it for you too. He was yelling at me, and I just stared at him for a minute and asked him if he was done or if he needed more time to feel important. I tell my husband if I wanted to talk to his mom, I would call her. Those are big feelings for Elmo. Do your parents ever get tired of waiting to be proud of you? Take your hat off and tell me your opinion again. Tried to get me to take my AirPods out to talk to me. I took one out and went, sorry, I don't have any change, and put it back in. He told me marriage was over on the first night of the bar exam. I said, hold that thought. You're on the right track. I'll get back to you in 2 days. I have a test to take. Priorities. Is it in? I told my ex I didn't have time to talk to him because I was getting ready to go on the blind date his mom set up for me. She set me up with his younger brother. Oh my God. I like to say calm down, push pop. Saving that one. I introduced my husband to people as my first husband. I tell men that I'm 5'7". I'm 5'10". My 7-year-old told her stepdad yesterday, well, you're a grown man. You know how to wash dishes, when he said we didn't have any clean spoons. Do you ever wish your voice was deeper? Apparently, we both want the princess treatment. Someone's little girl said, did that make your hair grow back? That comment lives with me. I've been called worse by better. I call my husband his dad's name when we're arguing. I usually just say, you don't have to get so emotional when they disagree with me. I found out he was still on his dad's phone plan. I told him I was going to marry his dad and ground him off his phone. My ex said, you can't take a joke. I said, I married you, didn't I? He said, I guess I'm just the worst person in the world, to which I calmly replied, I'm glad we're on the same page about that. Was told I would never find someone like him, and I responded with, well, that is the plan. I tripped over the bar that I lowered for you. Your talent for missing the point is honestly impressive. Does that make you feel taller? I told him his brother did it better. I see you're committed to your current level of understanding. My personal favorite is, what would give you the confidence to say that? I asked my soon-to-be ex if he knew what the best thing about divorce was while he was yelling at me, and he said, what? And then I hung up on him and put my phone on Do Not Disturb. You promised me a good time, but all I'm leaving with is a hella funny story to tell my group chat. When my ex told me he was going to block me, I instantly replied with, this isn't an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Told him he's not competing with other men. He's competing with the happiness I feel when I'm alone. Frame this. What does your barber do for a living? I don't have the crayons nor the patience to explain this to you. He said, I'm smarter than I look. I responded, you'd have to be. Did your classroom have 2 teachers in it? Something along the lines of, I just need a toy and a weighted blanket. It's the same thing. If I want to know your opinion, I'll give it to you. I've just started writing, oh, so you don't know, in the team group chat anytime my boss gives me a bullshit answer that doesn't answer my question. What a power move. Do we need a timeout, friend? I routinely say, working in the service industry, that their hand can stay attached to them or me, but it won't stay attached to both of us. This is fantastic. He told me he has 4 LinkedIn accounts. My response was, oh, one for each of your personalities. My father once asked me, who's your daddy? I responded back, I don't know. Mom won't tell me. me. Okay, that's fine. I'll do it myself and be the man for both of us. I'm 5'6" and met a guy with an apparent Napoleon complex on a first date. Told him to stand up when he's speaking to me. Made him cry when I said, I know your mother raised you better than this. A guy told me I would be a solid 8 if I worked out with him. I told him he might crack 3 if he stopped talking. Never mind, I'll just ask my dad to do it. It's the fact that you're making me yell louder in this argument than you do in bed. I am not as mean as I could be. Y'all are an inspiration.